Hello, Northwest Georgia, and welcome to your weather on North Georgia Television. Beautiful blue skies this morning with a few clouds and temperatures in the mid to high 30s across Northwest Georgia. Look for highs about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday, up in the low 60s with a mix of clouds and sun throughout the day. Cloudy skies clearing overnight tonight with the lows in the mid to upper 40s and winds light and variable. Around the region today, Calhoun 37 early this morning, 57 for midday, and 60 this afternoon for your high. And in Chatsworth, 40 as well, 58 at midday, and another high of 61. .37 in Chickamauga this morning. Midday look for 58 and up to 62. Cohutta just above freezing with 37 this morning. Expect 56 at noon and 60 will be your high. 37 in Dalton as well. You should be up to 56 at noon and then 61 later this afternoon. And in Fairmount, 42 this morning. You'll make it up to near 58 around noontime and then on up to 61 this afternoon. An early morning temp of 36 in Fort Oglethorpe, 57 for your midday and 63 for the high. And in Lafayette, 38 was your overnight low this morning, 57 at noontime and 60 later in the afternoon. And in Ringgold, also 37, 57 for your midday and then 61 for the high. And in our 7-day forecast, partly cloudy tomorrow morning, then overcast in the afternoon, highs up around 66, winds light and variable. We'll get down near 51 overnight under considerably cloudy skies. Then Thursday, cloudy with about a 60% chance of occasional rain showers expected, high around 67, and overnight lows near 49 with a 40% chance of scattered showers. Friday has a good possibility of scattered thunderstorms, with highs up around 62. Storms continue into Friday night and lows down near 43. Saturday, cloudy with occasional rain showers and a high of 56. Cloudy overnight, and we'll be back to winter temps as they dip down to the upper 20s. Sunday, look for a mix of rain and snow possible in the morning, changing to rain later. High of only 42. Partial clearing Sunday night with lows back down in the upper 20s. Monday will be cloudy. There is a slight chance of continued rain and snow possible with highs near 46 and lows just around freezing. Next Tuesday, cloudy again and more possible rain and snow. That's your weather forecast here at North Georgia Television. Now for our area obituaries. Robert Monroe Jr., age 49. John Robert Monroe Jr. of Hickson passed away unexpectedly at his home Thursday, February 21st. He proudly served in the U.S. Marine Corps. Funeral services will be Tuesday, February 26th at 11:30 a.m. at Dallas Bay Baptist Church in Hickson with Pastor Ken Duggan officiating. Arrangements are by Heritage Funeral Home, East Brainerd Chapel. Mr. Ciriaco Gonzalez Martinez, Jr., age 22. Ciriaco Martinez of Dalton passed away on Thursday, February 21st. Mass will be held on Wednesday, February 27th at noon at St. Joseph's Catholic Church in Dalton, with Father Devon Gonzalez officiating. The family will receive friends at Willis Funeral Home Monday and Tuesday from 4 to 8 p.m. Mrs. Vernie Oretha Peters, age 74. Vernie Peters of Dalton departed this life Thursday, February 21st at her residence, surrounded by her loving family. Memorial service to celebrate the life of Mrs. Vernie Oretha Peters was held Saturday, February 23rd from Valley Baptist Church, with Reverend Charlie Ham and Reverend Steve Spangler officiating. In lieu of flowers, please make donations to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Mrs. Jeannie Wilbanks, age 86. Jeannie Wilbanks of Chatsworth passed away Friday, February 22nd, at Hamilton Medical Center. Funeral services were Monday, 4 p.m. at the Chapel of Sean Chapman Funeral Home in Chatsworth with Reverend John Bagley officiating. Interment followed in Spring Place Cemetery. Nancy Elizabeth Green, age 64. Nancy Green of Chickamauga passed away Friday, February 22nd. Funeral services will be held 1 p.m. Tuesday at the Heritage Funeral Home, Battlefield Parkway Chapel, with Pastor Edgar Johnson officiating. Interment will follow in Lakewood Memory Gardens South. In lieu of flowers, donations may be made to Walter Bone Birth Defect Center in Chattanooga. Mr. Paul Davidson, age 67. Paul Davidson of Dalton passed away Saturday, February 23rd at his residence. A memorial service will be held on Tuesday, February 26th at 7 p.m. The Pleasant Grove Chapel of Julian Peoples Funeral Home with Reverend Shane Bailey officiating. The family will receive friends at the funeral home on Tuesday from 4 p.m. until the service hour of 7 p.m. In lieu of flowers, the family donations be made to Hamilton Hospice. Mrs. Eva Mae Stanley, age 77. Eva Stanley passed away Saturday, February 23rd at Regency Park in Dalton. Funeral services will be Tuesday at 3 p.m. at the Chapel of Sean Chapman Funeral Home, with Reverend Chris Tarvin and Reverend Nat Patterson officiating. Interment will follow in Harmony Grove Cemetery. The family will receive friends at the funeral home Tuesday from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. Mr. Joe Howard McAfee, age 47. Joe McAfee of Adairsville White passed away Wednesday, February 20th. Funeral service will be held Wednesday, February 27th at 2:30 p.m. at the Adairsville Body of Christ Church with Pastor Kenneth L. Benham and other ministers officiating. The family will receive friends at the church 1 hour before the service. Interment will be in Poplar Springs Cemetery. The arrangements are by Willis Funeral Home of Dalton. Betty Jean Oliver, age 91. Betty Jean Oliver of Cohutta and formerly of Port Falls, West Virginia, passed away Sunday, February 24th at her residence. The funeral service for Betty Oliver will be held Wednesday, February 27th at the Tennant Funeral Home in West Virginia. Local arrangements are by Julian Peoples Funeral Home, Pleasant Grove Chapel. Anna Sue Birchfield, age 87. Anna Sue Birchfield of Georgia passed away on Friday, February 22nd. The family will receive friends Tuesday from 5 to 8 p.m. in the South Crest Chapel of Lane Funeral Home and Crematory in Rossville. Funeral services will be held Wednesday, February 27th at 2 p.m. at the South Crest Chapel with Dr. David Harr officiating. Interment will be held in the Tennessee-Georgia Memorial Park.
Good morning, Northwest Georgia, and welcome back to WDNN. I'm Aaron Scott.
And I'm Adam Scott. Why don't we jump right into it? First up, Kemp introduces legislation for federal funds for rural airports. Governor Kemp's floor leader, Representative Dominique LaRica, introduced legislation to allow the state to draw down increased federal funds for use in improved infrastructure and maintenance in Georgia's rural airports. Kemp stated that as governor, he is committed to ensuring greater opportunity for all Georgians, no matter their zip code, and that this legislation allows Georgia to leverage federal aviation funds to directly benefit rural airports, create jobs, and spur economic growth in surrounding communities. The legislation establishes a state excise tax on jet fuel of $0.005 per gallon and is collected by the state for the Department of Transportation to draw down funding at a 9-to-1 match by the federal government for deployment to rural airports across the state. This deployment of resources can be used by local aviation authorities for maintenance and infrastructure projects to improve existing facilities and runways. And I think that's awesome. I think we do need some more airports, but I would like to see who is going to be partaking in ownership or equity.
Me too. When it comes down to this, back to district elections, we talked to many people about who's really going to profit from this.
Yeah, and I think everyone should be aware of who's doing this and why.
Of course. Next up, New Georgia Partnership to support school leaders in Georgia. In another announcement from the governor, he said he is proud of the new partnership to support school leaders in Georgia. The governor's Office of Student Achievement, Georgia Department of Education, and Gwinnett County Public Schools will offer leadership training and no one-on-one coaching to current and aspiring school principals through the Governor's School Leadership Academy. Kemp stated his belief that strong, effective leadership is key to transforming Georgia's struggling schools and equipping our students with the right tools to ensure their future success in life, and he wholeheartedly supports this partnership to provide higher caliber training and leadership skills to current and aspiring school principals. Launched in 2018, GSLA is designed to support school leaders working to achieve positive, transformational school-level change during a year-long cohort experience. Participants receive in-depth leadership training and support through a combination of in-person meetings, coaching, and a mentorship from a former Georgia principal, and opportunities to network with fellow principals who are also working to transform their schools. Ultimately, the goal of the GSLA is to strengthen leadership capacity in the principal pipeline in underperforming schools.
Beginning with the 2019 to 2020 school year, GADO will join GOSA and GCPS as a collaborative partner to continue the work of the Governor's School Leadership Academy. The new cohort of principals will be selected from schools identified for support by GADO's Office of Schools Improvement. This partnership will allow an expansion of the one-on-one support provided through GSLA. Each participant will work with their assigned Georgia DOE School Improvement Specialist to implement and apply the lessons learned in face-to-face sessions at their own schools. The partnership between GOSA and GADO will allow for expansion of GSLA to serve 3 regional cohorts of 20 to 30 sitting principals, compared to 26 principals statewide in the 2018 to 2019 year, along with a cohort of approximately 50 aspiring principals throughout the state. State School Superintendent Richard Woods said that to turn around an underperforming school, they know leadership is absolutely the cornerstone of anything you're going to be able to accomplish. The Governor's School Leadership Academy allows us to work directly to improve the capacity of principals and aspiring principals in our state, ultimately to benefit the students. The Governor's School Leadership Academy is based on a model developed and championed by Gwinnett County Public Schools. Leadership matters, plain and simple, says GCPS CEO and Superintendent J. Alvin Wilbanks. He went on to say that every school needs and deserves an effective principal who can shape a vision of academic success for all students and ensure there is quality instruction in every classroom. To that end, the Governor's School Leadership Academy can be a powerful force in addressing this critical need in our state. Based on the evidence regarding the performance of the Academy Gwinnett began 12 years ago, he said he is confident that GSLA will continually positively impact school leader effectiveness across the state. And I love that because I love the idea of mentors. I'm always preaching on mentors.
Mentors, they really take care of you and teach you a lot.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from someone who's already been through something compared to having to make that mistake yourself.
Yeah, and that's great. Next up, 2 Northwest Georgia counties prepare to vote on SPLOST. Both Catoosa and Whitfield County are having a SPLOST, or Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax election, on March 19th. According to the Georgia Municipal Association, SPLOST, or Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax for counties, is legally and technically a special district tax. As in local option sales tax, or LOST, the geographic boundaries of each special district are the same as the geographic boundaries of each county. In the past, the primary source of local revenue available to municipalities for renovating and modifying existing facilities and the construction of new ones for community projects and infrastructure was property tax. The constitutional amendment approved by the voters of Georgia in November 1996 allows the option of calling for a referendum to ask their voters to approve a SPLOST. Currently, 156 of 159 Georgia counties have a SPLOST. A SPLOST is an optional 1-penny county sales tax levied on both residents and non-residents of the district. SPLOST funds can only be used to fund capital outlay projects. Capital outlay projects are defined as major projects which are permanent in nature. SPLOST is an alternative way to pay for county and city capital projects that don't directly tap into property tax revenue. The rate shall be 1%. The tax shall not be subject to any sales tax exemptions such as food and beverage exemptions. The link shall be imposed for a period of time not to exceed 6 years. Elections are countywide, therefore a majority of all voters must approve the referendum to receive any sales tax revenue.
SPLOST projects may include municipally owned or operated capital projects. Both county and city owned and operated projects are fully eligible for SPLOST. The city water systems, sewer systems, and other utility systems, stormwater facilities, drainage projects, and green space could all be funded through SPLOST if approved by the voters. SPLOST revenue may only be spent on voter-approved capital projects within the city or county and is a violation of the law to spend it on maintenance and operations. It can be used to retire existing general obligation debt of a capital project. Eligible projects for SPLOST funding include roads, streets, bridges, sidewalks, bicycling paths, green space, parks, municipal buildings, railroads, water, sewer systems, storm, water, and drainage systems, capital equipment for use in voting official elections or referenda, and public safety, airport transportation, cultural, recreational things, or historic facilities. There's a lot of things that the SPLOST can cover, really. Only projects that are listed on the SPLOST referendum are eligible to be funded through SPLOST revenue. The ordinance or resolution must also specify the maximum length of time for which the SPLOST will be levied. The estimated cost of the project to be funded by the SPLOST proceeds or the amount of general obligation debt, if any, to be issued in conjunction with the SPLOST. And again, this is important. I say this all the time, but know what this is, guys. This is where your tax money goes. Know what you're paying for locally.
I mean, what this really comes down to, within the last 5 years, Georgians in general are making 6.6% less than we were 5 years ago. I mean, it comes down to, can we afford this? Do your research, guys. Come back at us with comments if you would like to. Next up, Whitfield County Public SPLOST informational meetings. Voters can attend one of the public information meetings scheduled in the coming weeks and learn more about their SPLOST. Election day is March 19th, and early voting starts February 25th to March 15th. Remaining meetings will all be at 6 p.m. with a meeting tonight at John Davis Recreation Center in Dalton. Thursday, February 28th at Westside Middle School Cafeteria. Tuesday, March 5th at Whitfield County Administration Building number 2.
Next up, split issue active food stamp release for March 2019 as a follow-up measure to the early issue of February benefits during the federal government partial shutdown. The Division of Family and Child Services will release the March allotment of SNAP food stamps benefits as a split issue. Please be aware that benefits have not decreased. Instead, you will receive 2 issues in the month of March that together will equal your regular benefit amount. Half will be available on or about March 2nd, and the other half will be available on your normal issue date. I think this is good, again, because I think it's going to teach people how to budget their money.
I think so as well. Next up, North Georgia Television thanks Dalton LED Zone for the great new lighting and for making it so easy to go green. Check them out. They're at 814 East Morris Street or online at DaltonLEDzone.com. We thank you for tuning in here at WDNN. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
With VidLink, OptiLink's exciting new entertainment platform, you'll have the freedom to stream VidLink content on multiple devices, even when away from home. Plus, with VidLink, you can access the widest array of content on the market. You'll get great features like Restart, Replay, cloud-based DVR storage, all HD programming, and so much more. Contact us today to see how you can get linked to the next big thing in video entertainment.
While the word cancer can strike fear at the deepest level of our souls, in the case of skin cancer, the prognosis is very good. Basal cell and squamous cell carcinomas are the most common and are not normally included in cancer statistics.
Our office specializes in the diagnosis and treatment of skin cancer.
If you're concerned about a mole or freckle that may be changing, give us a call. Most treatments can be performed in our office in about 15 minutes with very little discomfort.
I am Ron McKinney, pastor of Kinsey Drive Baptist Church in Dalton, Georgia. KDBC has been the birthplace of several Christian organizations. It was the birthplace of Christian Heritage School 30 years ago, and through the Academy of Fine Arts, Labrie Symphonic Orchestra was founded by KDBC members Gene and Betty Lindauer. The ministry of KDBC reaches around the world with the missions of To Every Tribe ministry, and I was a founding member of North Georgia Fellowship of Christian Athletes in 1992. Majesty is the longest running television program on North Georgia Television. For 28 years, we have faithfully proclaimed the doctrines of grace. Kinsey Drive Baptist Church welcomes you to visit at 2626 Kinsey Drive on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Our website is KinseyDriveBaptistChurch.com. To God be all the glory.
Hi guys, I'm Frank Pinson. I want you to tune in on these following show times to watch 101 with Frank Pinson. The show is based on people doing great things in and for your community, our community. Now those are doctors, lawyers, students, teachers, anyone doing great things. So guys, you know the motto, don't just be great, always inspire, motivate, and teach others to do the same. Now that is what we do, and I hope you tune in to WDNN TV. Just click on the website, or you can follow right here, www.thefrankpinson.com, and watch any episode you like. See you soon.
First Bank of Calhoun and First Bank of Dalton are proud to serve our communities, providing the products you need plus the personal service you expect from your hometown bank. We offer the latest technology like customized instant-issue debit cards, InstaPay, and more. And with our experienced First Elite bankers, switching to First Bank has never been easier.
Stop by and see what sets us apart.
First Bank of Calhoun and First Bank of Dalton, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Judy Elliott, inviting you to join me on Lifestyles for Women show on WDNN TV. This year brings exciting new topics that women like to discuss or just know more about. Subjects like ways to look and feel your very best, travel, family, health, and sometimes just fun girl talk. It's always exciting, and we invite your suggestions. Just message me on Facebook at Lifestyles for Women, or for more information or to watch us online, visit WDNNTV.com, Lifestyles for Women.
Hi everyone, I'm Judy Elliott.
I'm Jane Marie Wilson.
And join us for our second season on Southern
Sassy. This season, we are going to do a day in the life of a fireman. We learn how to belly dance and ride horses.
And wear our wedding dresses.
They still fit, by the way.
Only in the front.
So join us for that and much more this season.
Catch us on OptiLink Channel 6
and WDNN Channel 10. Like us on Facebook, because you never know what you're going to find
on Southern Sassy.
Welcome back, Northwest Georgia. Let's hop right into it. Next up, Georgia lawmaker seeks protection for people who break into cars to rescue pets. Senator Kate Kirkpatrick is proposing legislation that will protect people from a lawsuit if they damage a vehicle to rescue an animal in danger. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported the idea came out of a Senate committee studying whether laws are needed to regulate support or service animals, said the Republican, who is from the Atlanta suburb of Marietta. Kirkpatrick is adding language to an existing law protecting people who rescue children from hot cars. It was passed after the 2015 deaths of 22-month-old Cooper Harris. Cooper was killed by his father, Justin Ross Harris, in a hot car in Cobb County. Harris, who moved to Georgia from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, was sentenced to life without parole. While researching current laws, Kirkpatrick said she started noticing that there were nothing in there for some trying to rescue an animal in distress. In her bill, anyone who breaks in a window to rescue an animal in distress must also call 911 to be immune from civil liability and to mitigate the possibility of someone just kidnapping an animal or breaking a window and later claiming it was to save an animal. State Senator Michael Rett, Democrat from Marietta, has proposed similar legislation. That bill would make law enforcement officers not liable for breaking a window to save a person or a pet. That's pretty cool, don't you think?
I just want to know what you feel about that. Like, how do you think it's okay for somebody to go, let's say there was a brand new BMW or Mercedes-Benz and somebody just comes up and busts the window out. Do you think that's okay?
Well, I personally think that I have liability for my child, and at the end of the day, it's not anyone else's job to take care of my
What about animals?
liabilities. Animals, I think the same thing. It's my animal. I know how my animal is. I know how he reacts to heat or the cold.
Yeah, I feel that. I think the same thing. I was just curious. Next up, David Renz appointed to Georgians' first commission. David Renz of Dalton, president of Southern Lubes and Fuels, is among 18 people appointed by Governor Brian Kemp to his Georgians' first commission. The task force, created by executive order on his first day in office, the commission will review state regulations, policies, and procedures to streamline government and remove inefficiencies. Kemp said these hardworking Georgians know firsthand the difficulties that small businesses face in getting started, expanding operations, and investing more in our state, and that he looks forward to working with them to cut government red tape, slash regulations, spur innovation, and ultimately make Georgia the top state for small businesses in the country. The Georgians' First Commission holds its first meeting next month, tentatively set for March 12th. At the Georgia State Capitol, the Commission will provide a full report to Kemp by June 30th, 2020, and I think this is actually an awesome thing because Georgia used to be a great place to have businesses.
It is, but if they keep stomping us with these little taxes, it's going to change.
And it's
soon.
the little things, yeah. I mean, a 0.005% tax like they were going to do on the airplane fuel. I mean, that adds up. You know, think about how much fuel goes in the airplane, and there's a bunch of other little things that they're nicking on small businesses
Well, we
as well.
personally know airplane fuel is not cheap.
It's not.
And it does add up.
That's right.
Next up, Dalton Public Schools to lose 3 principals at the end of this school year. 3 principals have announced their desires to leave administration in Dalton Public Schools next school year. Jason Brock, principal at City Park School, Phil Jones, principal at Dalton Middle School, and Alan Metronox, principal at Blue Ridge School, have announced their desires to transfer out of the school administration. Brock has requested to leave administration and consider other positions that may become available within the school district for the next school year. Jones has requested to transfer back to the classroom teaching Spanish for next school year, and Martin Knox is elected to retire when his contract ends on June 30th of 2019. He'll pursue a part-time teaching opportunity in Dalton Public Schools for next school year. All 3 will continue in their current positions through June 30th of 2019. Tim Scott, superintendent of Dalton Public Schools, stated that all of these men have provided excellent leadership in their respective positions over the years, and he will miss working with them on a daily basis as part of the administrative teams, but he wishes them as well as they enter a new phase in their careers. The district expects to post these positions for the 2019-2020 school year on the district website and through the Teach Georgia website by the end of the week.
Next up, no-cost hepatitis A shots being offered due to an increase in reported cases of hepatitis A. A vaccine-preventable, communicable disease is the liver caused by the hepatitis A virus. In Northwest Georgia, public health departments in North Georgia providing hepatitis A vaccinations at no out-of-pocket expense. They are especially urging people who are at risk for getting or becoming infected with hepatitis A to come to the county health department either in Murray or Whitfield County for a no-cost declines hepatitis A vaccination. And that's awesome. I mean, if somebody's having an issue and somebody's trying to help you out, jump on that, guys.
You know, I have a different opinion on this. When it comes to a hepatitis vaccination, I've done a little more research than most. So me knowing what the hepatitis vaccination has in it, I have a different perspective. I understand that also they're going more for the homeless crew when it comes to the hepatitis A vac. So, I mean, you know, do your own thinking there. Up next, upcoming Northwest Georgia events, there will be a SPLOST 2019 informational meeting tonight at 6 p.m. at the John Davis Recreation Center. The 1% 6-year $100 million special purpose local option sales tax will be voted on March 19th. A beginning English class for adults will begin this week and be held on Tuesday and Thursdays at 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. through May in the Matt Gaston Community Center at no charge.
You know what, that's awesome. I mean, it seems really like there's a bunch of things, of good things going on in the community.
No, and I mean, it really does.
Yeah, and it would be awesome if people would get involved because that's what's going to make our community flourish is people.
It is.
It's the people.
Too. And the more you know, the more you can help. We thank you for tuning in, Northwest Georgia. I'm Aaron Scott.
And I'm Adam Scott.
And remember, above all, stay classy.